Welcome, everybody, to episode 4 of To the Rack with Mac. I am your host, Nick Mac Daddy Mac, and tonight is a special occasion as here on episode 4 is the debut of my brand new co-host, Jeff, aka Basketball for Brains. Welcome to the Rack with Mac. Appreciate you joining me, and I can't wait to talk ball with you every week, man.
Well, I sure appreciate you having me. And yeah, talking hoops is what we do. So we're going to have a good time on the show. Between the two of us, we should have one solid opinion come out.
Absolutely. We're going to touch on everything and all things NBA, the history of it, present day, craziness, hot takes, all over the board. We're going to get to it all. And the fun starts tonight, folks, as we have two of the great content creators of our time from TikTok. You know them as the New Rivals podcast, but individually, they are Poppy Solo and Light Out Sports. And we're going to get to them in just a few minutes. But we want you guys to get to know us a little bit. And as you guys already know, I'm a diehard Dallas Mavericks fan. We had a very up and down week. Yesterday, we just got mollywopped by the Chicago Bulls. It really didn't look, it looked okay. It looked promising early, but then the Bulls just absolutely ran away with it, as they seem to have been doing a lot lately. And Jeff is a Portland Trailblazers fan that is reeling a little bit to start this season. So let's start it off with that, Jeff. How you feeling? How you feeling as a Portland Trailblazers fan right now?
Well, luckily, I had my airbags ready to deploy early on this year. My expectations were low. Very disappointing off season for the Blazers in the sense that they didn't do anything. So the fact that we're running it back with the same old, I had low expectations as far as us being just simply a playoff team with the first round exit punch sitting ready for that. So, it's going to be an up and down season. Dame will get it going. So, his slow start, not worried at all. He's one of those guys, he'll find some way to fuel himself back up. So, so you're a big Mavericks fan.
Yeah. Yep. Diehard.
Where the two franchises are right now, Portland and Dallas, I view them as really in the same spot. That got that one star player, not enough help surrounding them, first round exit. However, the future is very bright for the Mavericks while the Trailblazers window is closing hard.
No, can I just say something about that real quick? And thank you for bringing that up, because I am so tired of hearing that the future is bright for the Dallas Mavericks, because they whiff on every single big name. All you hear building up to the offseason and during the offseason, you heard it this past offseason, Dame, Kawhi, this one, that one, Nico Harrison's coming in. We're going to get all the big names. Our biggest name was Reggie Bullock, and we brought back Tim Hardaway Jr. So, I mean, and that's how the way things have been for years. We were in on Dwight Howard, struck out on that. We were in on LeBron, struck out on that. We were in on Carmelo, struck out on that. It just goes on and on and on every single year. So until I see something and I see the press conference with the guy holding his jersey in front of the, everybody and the media at the press conference, I'm not going to believe it.
Because we're preaching to the choir. We're in the Northwest. We don't sign any free agents. But I gotta imagine there's gonna be somebody who sees the star that Luka is and wants to team up with him. Just looking at Dallas is like, hey, they got a guy, and somebody's gonna want to out of their situation and want to team up with him. I would figure.
Look, I put out a video on my TikTok this past week. We could have had Rashawn Holmes for like a very bare minimum contract, and the way he's playing this year, he looks great. It
would have been a nice pickup for Dallas.
It would have been a great pickup for Dallas. Instead, we have Dwight Powell. We're like banking on Dwight Powell turning into what he was supposed to be before the Achilles injury, and I just don't see any promise of that. Dorian Finney-Smith, that experiment is out the window. I don't know what the hell we're doing there. The guy has overstayed his welcome as a Dallas Maverick. That is for damn sure.
Well, I just look at that roster. Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr. are the only serviceable pieces to Doncic, and they're not even that great. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree with you. I mean, it's just, listen, I have high hopes for Dallas every year. Look, I feel like they're overperforming right now. I didn't expect them to be 7-4 in their first 11. I mean, yeah, they've looked really good in some instances. Luka has stepped up big, but Jalen Brunson has been the biggest bright spot for us so far this year. And I don't know how high my hopes for Dallas should be this
This
season.
season,
I
they
think
shouldn't be anywhere. This season, no. But
listen, there's just so much competitive parity across the league.
Yeah, sometime in the near future. It could be Jokic. It could be Anthony Towns. It could be Ayton. I don't know. Somebody's going to go to Dallas.
2023, book it. Nikola Jokic is coming to Dallas. I'm telling you. Luka and Jokic are going to break the lead. Anyway, that is enough about our teams, because joining us at this time, again, two of the great content creators of our day, especially on NBA TikTok. I hope you guys are ready for some Nets and Lakers conversation, because these two are the very best. They are known as the new rivals, but individually they are Poppy Solo and Light Out Sports. Let's bring them in to the show.
That was a beautiful intro, bro.
Fellas,
I love that, man.
Fellas, how you guys doing? How are you doing? Welcome to the Rack with Mac. Light Out, welcome back. Poppy Solo making his first appearance.
Yeah. Can I say something before I start the show?
Oh, here he goes.
First of all, two things. I just want to say thank you to Mac Daddy and Jeff B-Ball for brains. Let's be honest, I was late, and with all that, I came in here, and these guys are professional enough to start the show and just keep it rolling. So shout out to these guys for keeping the show going on. Secondly, the Lakers, we looking good, so I'm excited.
I can't wait to talk about
it. Yeah, let's go.
In response to the first part of that, Light Out, you already know this is what I do. So I does what I does, and I hold shit down.
Yeah, you do. Thank you. And
so anyway, gentlemen, I got to congratulate you on the recent success individually, but more important, on new rivals. Certainly a lot of momentum going there. So, gentlemen, congratulations. Got a great thing going, great camaraderie. So gotta get that out of the way before we get the show started.
We just argue the whole time.
What's the difference these days, man?
It's entertaining camaraderie. It's entertaining.
So
anyway,
it's
gentlemen,
rivalry, man.
I hate to get one of you sick to your stomach to start off the show, but I want to talk about each of your respective teams to start things off, and me and Jeff will chime in as well. But Poppy Solo, let's start with you and the Brooklyn Nets. And the first thing I want to touch on with the Brooklyn Nets is we all just need to admit right now, I'm sorry, Kevin Durant is the best player in the world. Averaging 29 on 59% shooting. Yeah. He is just shooting the lights out of the ball this year. It's mid-range. It's it's from three-point land. He's finishing at the rack. Poppy Solo, what's impressed you the most about Kevin Durant so far?
Honestly, his durability, his willingness to play back-to-back games. I didn't expect that at all, and I wouldn't have faulted him for resting on back-to-backs. But yeah, here he is playing his heart out. It's nice to hear people, other people call Kevin Durant the best. For a minute, TikTok tried to convince me I was going crazy, but now I see everyone, finally realizing the truth, and it's just beautiful to see him get his flowers, especially post Achilles injury. So, I'm very pro player, and I want them to play for a long time. And it's great to see a player play such a high level at his age, because he could easily have been a notch worse than he used to be, but he's putting up MVP like numbers. And I think this is just great for the entire league, not just Nets fans.
You got to give him credit for coming back from the injury.
Oh man. And just playing at this level, like his game is so smooth, man. Like from start to finish, and the most underrated part of his game is his playmaking. He doesn't get enough credit for actually being the playmaker he is. Look, he's not going to blow you away with his playmaking, but some of the plays he makes are just so smart. But Light Out, do you got anything to add without, throwing up in your mouth?
Kevin Durant's a great guy. I could say that. But for real.
You gotta give him props, man.
All bias aside, I have to agree. I really can't be biased towards Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant right now is the best player in the world. And The numbers say it. His play says it. I think we are giving him his flowers and as well deserved. He's definitely playing for that MVP. So yeah, Kevin Durant is the best player, and although I hate saying that, he is. So yeah, congrats, KD.
Okay, Poppy, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do we care about KD being the best player during the regular season, or do we only care what happens in the playoffs? And is he the best player when the playoffs come?
The thing for me is I personally don't care about the regular season. This is just bonus. I wouldn't mind if he played only 50 games for the season. You know, I'm scared for him. So I think he's proven it time and time again. I know last year he didn't get it done, but he's definitely arguably top 2 player performer in the NBA. He's proved it time and time again. He went to a 73-9 team and won finals MVP back to back with ease. So we know he can perform. The question is, will the rest of his team be healthy at the same time?
Yeah,
And
you know,
also,
and
no,
go
keep
ahead,
going,
Lino.
sorry. Oh, okay, my
Go
bad.
ahead.
Also adding to what Jeff said, I think he proved last year that he could perform during the playoffs no matter what circumstance he's in. I mean, although the Bucks beat the Nets, there's a reason why the Bucks won, and it's because the injuries and all that stuff. And KD was there putting everything he can. If his
48 minutes.
If his foot was just a little smaller, we might be talking about something else. But
they lost. That's for sure.
yeah, KD did his thing, and he was proving it during the playoffs, and he's just proving it again during the regular season.
He looks so healthy, man. It's so great to see.
So I know that we can sit here, we can fawn over KD's game all night long. Of course, we could have a half an hour episode just about Kevin Durant if we want. However, there's bigger questions than that with this Nets team moving forward. And that's a little thing we like to call depth. And that's the only thing that really scares me about this team. And I want to get your point as a Nets super fan.
Yes.
You know, do you think with this, what they have going on right now, Nick Claxton sent back down to the G League, you know, Javon Carter, Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge. Blake Griffin already battling injuries early on in the season. LaMarcus Aldridge looking great to start this season. These first 11 games really blown me away with how good he's looked. And we'll get to another veteran that looks good on the Lakers as well coming off the bench. But are you concerned about the depth of this team moving forward and in making a deep playoff run?
I would be, but that last point you made, LaMarcus Aldridge, if he can even play at a fraction of how he is now, he's our bench player. And just for Nick Claxton, I want to clarify why he's in the G League. It's not because he got worse. It's because he got sick, non-COVID, and they're ramping him up. He already got recalled. He was back with the team for Orlando. He won't play for the rest of the road trip, but he's definitely not moved to the G League. He'll be fine. Now, our depth is a little bit sketchy only because this team is built around Kyrie playing. And when Kyrie's not playing, that means Javon Carter's playing. And Javon Carter minutes aren't the most valuable minutes. So
no. I would like to see Cam Thomas out there over Javon Carter.
Thank God.
Just saying.
But Cam has played in these blowout wins we've gotten, and his shot selection and his efficiency has been super iffy. So I'm not I get it why he's not, but I would love to see him.
He's got to grow.
He's got to grow.
A little bit.
Javon Carter's a better defender. He just happens to be very small, and his jumper is not the best. But I'll give him against Orlando Magic. He was hitting his shots. He looks better off the ball than he does on the ball. But I think, players like Patty Mills, players like LaMarcus Aldridge, players like Paul Millsap will really come in handy when it comes to the playoffs. And I think the league is in such shambles that I would love Kyrie to come back, and I think he will. I think we still stack up against literally every team in the league without him.
Well, we definitely saw in the playoffs last year where a couple of games were won by the gritty veteran coming off the bench for Brooklyn, Jeff Green. And you lost him to Denver this year. Denver picked him up in the offseason, so you got to replace him somewhere.
This year either, though. He's shooting 20% from three. So as much as I love him, it's not a huge void that can't be filled by LaMarcus Aldridge. He's doing what he's doing.
All right. You heard it here first from Poppy Solo about the Brooklyn Nets. Poppy, are you expecting, is it championship or bust for this team this year?
It's 100% championship or bust, and all the pressure's on James Harden. If James Harden performs, then we win. If he doesn't, we lose.
And it's been sketchy.
That's what it is. That's
Yo,
what it is.
light out. I know you've had a lot to say about him. What are your thoughts on James Harden so far this year?
Now, here's the thing. I'm not a Harden hater by no means. Honestly, last year, I literally was on your show last year advocating that he's the most important and
Oh,
best
yeah.
player.
Do you
I
believe
was
that still? Do you believe that
hell
still?
no, hell no. There's takes that I take back, and I'm walking that one back 100%. Um, but
Fair, fair.
the thing is, like James Harden. I don't know if it's the rule change. I don't like when I'm looking at James Harden. He's really trying to get those fouls called. He's really trying to get those fouls called. He's really trying to force his way to the free throw line, and I don't really understand it because I'm not saying he could only get buckets getting free throws. He could get buckets doing other things in the court because he's one of the greatest scorers I've ever seen. So I think he's still mentally battling that. Oh, I'm trying to get that foul. I'm trying to get that call. And when he finally figures out, all right, I got to find a different way to score, I think James Harden will be fine. But if James Harden doesn't figure that out anytime soon, I don't know. I really don't know about the Nets. I really don't know.
Well, I do want to say this in defense of James Harden. Then Jeff, I'll let you chime in real quick. We've been seeing more of the playmaking James Harden than the scoring James Harden,
Right.
and it's come up clutch in some big moments so far.
has.
I mean, there's not been many big moments for the Nets early on. Obviously, 11 games into the year, there can't really be that many. But James Harden has been showing off his playmaking quite a bit so far early on in the season. He's not getting enough credit for that because he's not the same old scoring James Harden that we're all used to. But he is contributing in other ways. So I do want to point that out as well. Jeff.
You know, we're getting his name brought up and just how those two are playing so good together because obviously there's the unknown player missing from the equation that they got to work in. But it's like Kevin Durant played with Russell Westbrook. They were very successful, maybe not championship successful, but he's played with a scoring playmaking guy. And you know what? I say James Harden is better than Russell Westbrook.
Agreed.
So that's an upgrade, and they look nice. Those two guys, they fall nice together.
I love the shade, Jeff. I really do.
You know what? I'm glad that he brought up Russell Westbrook because as much as I love talking about the Brooklyn Nets, we also have a Lakers super fan here with us tonight. If you know him, folks, Light Out Sports, one of the biggest Lakers super fans I know. Listen, we just put him through some torture, so Poppy Solo, you're gonna have to deal with it until we get to the fun part of the show.
Of course.
But anyway, little bit of a slow start, little bit of an iffy start. Drop 2 horrible losses to Oklahoma City, but then a big win last night over Miami in overtime, a big win over Charlotte last week, big performances from the Grizzly veteran off the bench, Carmelo Anthony, rejuvenating his career before our very eyes, shooting the lights out the damn ball. Anthony Davis doing his thing. Russell Westbrook seemingly starting to turn it around a little bit. Still turning the ball over way too much. Still turning the ball over way too much.
Yeah.
So 11, 12 games in now. What are your thoughts about your Los Angeles Lakers here later?
Nothing has changed. I still need Russell Westbrook out of there. Look, like I love Westbrook. Don't get me wrong. He's very entertaining to watch. I like him. I like watching him, but I like watching him when he's in a different team. When I'm rooting, when he's in my team, it's like watching stress, and I don't like that. I don't enjoy watching Laker games when LeBron's not the court and Russell Westbrook is that guy. Although yesterday I could really say that was his best game as a Laker. It really was because not only, although he had a lot of turnovers, field goal percentages were both above 45% when it came from the field goal and the 3. So congratulations, Russell Westbrook, for doing that. But do we really expect Russell Westbrook to keep playing like this at a high level? No, I don't think so. I still wish we got Buddy Hield. There's so many players we could have gotten that it wasn't Russell Westbrook, but I still believe in this team to make the playoffs. I still believe this team with LeBron James, we could potentially make the NBA Finals, but it's not as easy with Westbrook on the team. And I'm not saying he's a horrible player. I just don't think he fits the system.
I heard something to describe the Lakers today. Instead of purple and gold, they're calling them the purple and old. I love it. I think it's great.
But I want to say something about the old player, Carmelo Anthony. That guy has been balling. I love watching Melo. I think that's the reason I sit down and watch these Laker games, just to see Carmelo Anthony ball. Not when it comes to road games, but when it comes to our home games, he plays amazing. Anthony Davis, I think no one is giving him credit. I think he's top 10 in 3 categories, and I think it's block, rebounds, and I forgot what was the other category. When it comes to him playing a great season
Probably
so far.
points.
So we got to give our props to all those players, but with all that, Russell Westbrook is still a big problem in my eyes. So that's my thing with the Lakers.
I mean, come on, we're 11 games in. We got to give it a little bit more time for chemistry, don't we?
Nope. Because look, this is the thing. Russell Westbrook at this point of his career, this is his third team in 3 seasons. Third team in 3 seasons. I get it. Right? Everybody have seen the meme, right? There's a point of the period that everybody calls him the worst player in the NBA to, oh my God, this guy is the greatest ever, to what the heck just happened to Russell Westbrook. It's the same cycle over and over again. So just because he's wearing purple and gold, I don't think that's just gonna change. I still think the same cycle is gonna happen. There's gonna be a stretch of games that Russell Westbrook looks amazing, and I'm gonna be one of the players, one of the fans that look like, hey, guys, Laker fans, do not get used to that because that's not gonna happen during the playoffs when it matters. I'm calling it right now. So I'm just saying.
I appreciate that you're not just blindsided by the guys that you got. I agree with you that Russell Westbrook isn't the fit for that situation. Not that he's terrible or anything like that. He's one of the greats, but he's just not that fit. Now, the Lakers are in a position this year. LeBron missing time is huge. Any injuries for these guys is huge because camaraderie, it sounded I believe in that. You gotta get some rhythm. You gotta find how this thing is gonna work, especially when it's not a smooth fit like Westbrook is.
Right. Yeah. That's an absolutely great point, Jeff. Perfect. Great. Absolutely. I fully agree with you there.
Yeah. Brooklyn's coming in on their second season here as far as being a unit. They need their guy back to get that camaraderie going too. But like I was saying, I mean, the Durant-Harden connection is looking nice and smooth. And, coming into their second year, I got higher expectations for them.
And also, Kyrie Irving is not a ball-dominant player when it comes, like, comparing him to a Russell Westbrook. Kyrie could fit completely well with the Brooklyn Nets. Whenever he wants to get the vaccine or whatever decision he wants
This
to
is a great podcast. I love all the net praise. Keep it up, man.
I just think he's just gonna fit perfectly fine. But I really don't think Kyrie's coming back. So that's the only problem. I don't think he's coming back.
I do want to say one thing. Can I make one point, Mac Daddy? Yeah. I remember the day Russell Westbrook got, traded to the Lakers. And all I could think was, thank God they didn't get Buddy Hield. I was like, thank God it's not Buddy Hield. Right. And it's happening just how we thought it was going to happen. Now, there's this thing that people think that I'm scared to play the Lakers in the finals. I literally want to play them. Like, you don't understand how great the storyline would be. KD versus LeBron, Kyrie versus LeBron. It would be beautiful for basketball.
Fireworks.
Yes, the drama's there.
See it. It's just, like we all say, the fit does not show that. Now, they do have the talent to maybe will their way to the finals, but like you said, they got to play together and they got to play well together.
Absolutely. All right, that's enough of Nets Lakers for right now. Anyway, we're gonna circle back to Nets Lakers a little bit, but I want to touch on the stuff going on around the rest of the NBA because I truly believe we are in a time where I can't remember the competitive parity across the entire league like we are witnessing today. Like I had Tony and Jeff on last week as guests, and I was telling them, like, I'm tuning in to the Houston Rockets. I'm tuning in to the Sacramento Kings. I'm watching Cleveland Cavaliers games and Charlotte Hornets games because there's something exciting. Even in the Orlando Magic, there's something exciting about every single team in the NBA. So from you guys, I want to get, real quick, 2 minutes each. We'll all touch on it quickly. One little hot take / biggest surprise to start the season. And, we'll start with you, Poppy Solo.
Oh, that's so nice, man. I'm glad you're bringing that point up because I think we get lost in the superstars so much that we don't value the show around the league. And I want to give props to the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja Morant. People think this is a hot start. I think he's literally an MVP candidate. And, barring injury or something drastic, I think he's going to stay up there. He's finding his jumper. His patience is getting better. His playmaking. I think Ja Morant is the real deal, and they're a better team than they were last year. And I think they can really make some noise in the playoffs. Of course, they're not a contender, but I think Ja Morant is, a year away from being a real superstar in this league.
Do you
I
think
bet
Jaren Jackson's that second punch?
I don't. And I think until they find a second punch, that's when they'll find the success as a team.
I compare that Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson 1-2 to LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges. Now, LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges this year have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for that moment where you see the growth between Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. Take place. And it just hasn't clicked yet.
It hasn't.
But
no, I don't think it will.
Oh, all right. Well, you heard it. Ja Morant, Memphis Grizzlies definitely deserve the honor and the respect you just gave them. Poppy Solo, light out. Let's move on to yours.
I know what Solo knows what I'm gonna say. The Golden State Warriors. We did not have like I wanna really like reading the comment sections from my TikTok, reading the expectations of the Golden State Warriors. No one said these guys are gonna start 10-1. No one. And I understand, right? They got Steph Curry, right? The best point guard in the league. But again, when you look at the talent in that roster, that really doesn't I still don't get to manage how that team goes 10-1.
They're not playing anybody.
It's because see, this is what I'm talking about, guys.
They're not playing anybody.
What I'm talking about.
25th ranked defense, 29th ranked defense twice. Bottom 20 defense for entire schedule.
The Warriors
listen. They got the Bulls tomorrow night. That's their
the
first real test. And
also, I want to say this, right? They still got to win those basketball games. It doesn't matter who they could be playing the YMCA youth team. They got to beat that team no matter what. And they're here proving that these guys are legit contenders. And they're playing without Klay Thompson. They're playing without James Wiseman. They're playing without pieces. And hopefully Draymond his injury wasn't that big. I wasn't today in NBA Twitter any updates. I think he'll be fine. But besides that, if that core stays healthy, man, this team is dangerous, and no one expected this from the Warriors.
You know who's the most fun to watch on that Warriors team?
Steph.
GP2.
Yep.
GP2.
GP.
He's been insane this year.
That alley-oop was
Oh my god!
Left hand down.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was nasty.
Yeah,
that was nasty.
As the Charlotte Hornets announcers would say, "Hum diddly dee."
It was nasty. It was nasty.
All right, Jeff, let's hear yours.
Oh, I think I would just bring up the disappointment of the Atlanta Hawks, and I was low on them coming into the year. I am borderline on record right now of feeling like Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks peaked last year.
Tell him, Jeff.
Tell him, Jeff. Eastern Conference Finals.
Hit them with it, Jeff.
I don't think they will ever be back. Trae Young will have to play for a different franchise to get back to that point. The Atlanta Hawks aren't going to do it. This fall off surprises even me, and I was low on. I'm saying first round exit. Whatever it is. And this is, they got to get it together. And Trae doesn't look so great. He doesn't look like playoff Trae just a few months ago. So,
I want to. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Go ahead, light out. Go ahead.
I just something small. But during the playoffs, Trae Young's the top 5 point guard in the game. Now, I'm not hearing anything about Trae Young. That's all I got to say.
Well, because there's other guys taking leaps that we didn't expect. I mean, Poppy Solo brought it up. Ja Morant taking this leap right now. Right now, if I was going to put out rankings for point guards, Ja Morant is well ahead of Trae Young at this moment.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? So, but the thing I want to say about the thing I want to say about the Hawks is I'm on record before the season started saying they're one of the deepest teams in the league. Their bench is. Their bench is what's going to keep them going, and they just haven't. They haven't lived up to that. No,
super deep. Punch is soft right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. Now let's get to mine and light out. You're not going to like this too much. Everybody leading up to the season was calling this team the Shanghai Wizards, the Washington Sharks.
Preach.
Where are the Washington Wizards right now? With all these former Lakers that were written off by the Laker fan base as garbage and trash. The Washington Wizards are 8-3 and second in the NBA behind 18-9 from Montrezl Harrell. 15-9 from Kyle Kuzma. 15, 5, and 5 from Spencer Dinwiddie. A measly 9 points a game from KCP, so you might have been right about him. But Bradley Beal also out there with 23 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists. The Wizards, see, this is what I was talking about, the parity around the league. They are another team that are must-watch basketball. And this has been easily the biggest shock in my eyes.
Now, can I speak on that real quick? I love the Wizards, and I appreciate you showing them love. But isn't it kind of comparable, them being top of the East and the Warriors being top of the West, just show how early standings can be a bit misleading? Because I love the Wizards, and they're super fun to watch. But we all know that they're not contenders, right?
Yeah, I mean, we probably know that, right?
And I think the Warriors aren't either. That's I'm making that correlation to like we can't like light out. They beat teams. They got to beat these teams. It's 11 games. The Warriors being top of the conference in 11 games is not impressive. As them being a contender, but they are winning games and they are good. Like the Wizards are winning games and they are good.
I like it.
I think it's.
So,
go ahead.
I unofficially kind of go by the 20% rule. We got to get to 20% of the season, then we can start making some official judgment. But yeah, Washington, I don't expect them to be on top of the rankings in 2 days. So
I think it's fair to say. I think it's also fair to say that I would consider the Warriors way more of a contender than the Washington Wizards. Let's just say that.
But I wouldn't put the Warriors with the Nets or the Lakers.
I do.
Can I come back to the show when they beat both the Bulls and the Nets?
Right?
I would love that. I would love that.
Well, you guys are allowed to add back anytime you want. I do want to give one last honorable mention, though. They're a team that has been in the news a little bit this week because this 1-2 punch, I think it's getting old, and that's Boston starting another year.
Thank God, we're talking about Boston.
And then it's starting another year looking iffy. I've been trying to say this since before last season. They don't have enough to compete in the East. And I don't know why people still get high on Boston. I get Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown individually have great games, but together it just doesn't work.
Not at all. Not at all. And I went on the show last night on New Rivals, and I said that Jason Tatum is not the guy that everybody expected he was. I really don't think he's the guy that, the guy's going to win multiple MVPs, the future of the NBA, all these high expectations that usually just all come from Boston Celtics fans. That all these high expectations. I never saw it. When I was hearing it, I had to see who was saying it, and it was obviously Celtics fans saying this. So, again, I think, like you said, individually, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are. Jeff, you're a Celtics fan?
No, I'm not a Celtics fan.
Blazers fan.
When I was saying that, I believe in Jason Tatum on that level. I'm losing a little faith in this situation, and I'm with you. I had Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum last year talking. I like this 1-2 punch growing up together. It could be the Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady that the NBA never got to see. But you know what? It doesn't look good. I'm kind of ready to move Jaylen Brown on, and his value is very high right now. They could get a nice piece.
And Jeff, I'm happy you're taking that step. You obviously pulled the lever in the bus, and you're gonna get off that bus stop right now. I'm happy for you, Jeff. I'm very happy.
I have one thing to say about that. Jason Tatum to Memphis, man. I want to see John Morant.
Wow, that would be nasty.
I would love
what
that.
Do you think? What do you think?
Morant to Boston.
No.
Now, hold on. What do you think about? Check this out. Jamal Murray, MPJ, and potentially Barton or Gordon in a package for Tatum to go with Jokic in Denver.
So who?
I think it helps both teams for sure.
I think it does. You said Jamal Murray, Gordon, and who?
And MPJ.
Package.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a big package.
Well, MPJ, that guy, we could have had a whole segment on how big of a disappointment he was this year.
Oh my God.
$200 million.
It's
$200 million, averaging less than 10 points per game, and he's already hurt. His back's already given out.
I still have faith, but he's on my fantasy team, bro. I need him to come back. I need him to start scoring again, please.
He's making me look stupid. He's making me look stupid because I bought in with all that contract is worth it. That's what I said, and now I'm looking kind of not that.
So, gentlemen,
that's fun with that.
We've had a lot of fun with these takes, and this conversation's been great. But now we're gonna have some real fun. It
Let's
is
go.
time for the Brooklyn/New Jersey Nets and Los Angeles Lakers to the rack with Mac all-time fantasy draft. Build your
Let's
best
go.
starting five. The players must have played for either the Brooklyn/New Jersey Nets and Los Angeles Lakers, and you get that version of that player. For example, you cannot say, hey, I want Kevin Garnett because he played a measly few games with the Brooklyn Nets. You do not get prime Kevin Garnett. You get washed up Kevin Garnett. So,
And that was a bad Kevin
And
Garnett, man.
and I just want to say that I'm hoping 4 people is enough that someone gets stuck with Chris Mim as their big man.
There's a lot of Laker players, so hopefully no
Hey,
one has to.
that Nets team got to the second round.
Yep.
Don't forget.
All
So
right.
anyway, without any further ado, Poppy Solo
Yes.
with the first pick in the draft. Go ahead.
Oh, the first pick in the draft.
wonder who
I'm
it
going
is.
to pick my center, Shaquille O'Neal, my favorite center of all time.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Whoa! That is not where I
was-
saw you going.
I
I
got you. I can't pass up
ready.
on Shaq, bro. Come on, man.
I was
All
ready
right.
to hear that name.
Light Out
I wanna-
Sports, you're next.
I'm
and
next.
then Jeff, and then me.
I really want to say him, but I have to go Kobe. I have to go Kobe.
Okay.
You
I
wanted
have
to say
go Kobe. I wanted to say,
him?
yeah, I wanted to say
Jeff?
him.
The fact you let this fella fall into my lap this early in the draft. Kevin Durant at power forward is my first pick.
I gotta
You
go
got to,
Kobe.
you got to.
I love Kobe.
Jesus, thanks, guys. You know what? Can't believe I'm doing it. You know, I'm taking my point guard. I'm taking Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
All right, nice.
My turn.
I think we're gonna. Yeah, you know what? We're just
Where
gonna
you gonna
keep going
take it?
reverse order. So, Poppy Solo go.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go Snake because that would have looked like I was favoring it for myself. So, Poppy Solo, go ahead.
Okay, so I got Shaq at center, and wait, no
So
one picked Kobe yet? Wow.
Oh, no, I picked Kobe.
No, light out. Pick Kobe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pick.
Ooh.
I mean,
I gotta write
he's gonna
these
go
down.
soon. He's my favorite point guard of all time. I'm gonna go with Jason Kidd.
Love
Ooh,
that
that's
pick.
a good one. That's a
great
good one.
pick.
I got to.
All right, so
So-
I got.
All right,
I
light
got-
out sports.
Okay, so I got my man Kobe.
Don't let this fall to
Legend.
Jeff. I know what he's gonna do. Don't let him do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kareem.
Oh,
I'm gonna go
It's a
Kareem.
great pick.
I
I don't
really
know if
am
you
gonna
know
end
what
up.
I'm gonna do
I think I do.
because I'm going
shit.
with Wilt.
Nah, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lakers.
I
Wilt?
was gonna go Wilt, but I just had to go Kareem.
Give me Wilt and KD. I got
That's
bucket
nasty.
getter.
I really am gonna end up with Chris Mim. I really am gonna end up with Chris Mim. You know what? But I gotta do this. I got my guy, Magic Johnson.
Uh-huh.
I gotta go with my small forward here. Give me Dr. J.
Nice. I knew he
I
was
was
going
hoping he
to.
was gonna fall to me. That's
I know Jeff
Poppy-
is a big
Poppy
Dr. J
Solo.
fan.
That's
I got
right.
J Kidd, Shaq. I mean, this is my favorite net all time. It would be kind of messed up for me to pass on him. It got to be Vince Carter. I'm taking New Jersey Nets, Vince Carter.
Damn it. I was
Okay.
Very
waiting for
underrated
him to
Vince
fall
Carter.
to me.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with my favorite player of all time. I can't just skip on him twice in a row. LeBron James.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow,
that's a
kind
great.
of-
I can't believe he fell that far, to be honest.
I know. I was thinking
I
about
guess I'm just-
Lakers, LeBron.
I was rolling
I'm
the
not a
dice
big
with
fan
LeBron.
of the Laker LeBron. I'm
Me
not
either.
as big of a fan.
Yep.
All right,
His
Jeff,
first
go
year-
ahead.
I think I gotta snag a point guard. I'm gonna pick up Kyrie.
Beautiful.
Mm. So I got my small forward. I got my point guard Magic. You know what? I got to get a big man that ain't Chris Mim. Give me Anthony Davis.
Ooh.
That was my next
very
player.
good
Oh, I
pick.
hate you.
Poppy Solo, you
So I
got
have
Shaq,
Jake-
Jason Kidd, Vince Carter.
Yep. So there are a few good picks here, but I'm gonna go with one of the most underrated power forwards of all time, Kenyon Martin at the 4.
Ooh, okay.
All net. Oh, and he
I
got
feel like
Shaq.
you
No.
left one on the table there. I feel like you left one on the
Oh.
table there.
I love Kenyon, man. He's part of my childhood, man. I love Kenyon.
Ooh, I'm hoping somebody falls to me right now.
I'm
So
going.
much.
I'm going James Harden.
You want
Ooh,
Nets James Harden?
that's
I want
huge.
Nets James Harden. Yep.
That's
I
huge.
would if he wasn't playing like
Oh,
iffy this season.
last year, you know. Hey,
Oh, you
I
want
was-
last year's
I
James
want
Harden.
last year Harden. Give me that guy.
All right, Jeff.
I'm
on
gonna
you.
go small forward Elgin Baylor.
Nice.
Ooh,
That's a really
good
good one.
pick. I'm gonna pick up another big man that no one has said so far. So give me Pau Gasol.
That's who I thought you let slip,
Beautiful.
Poppy.
Yes, it's a great pick. For my Nets culture, man, I had to do Kenyon, man.
I appreciate
So like
that.
like just Pau Gasol and AD in the I just think that's amazing at the 4 and 5. So
I think it's great.
anyway, Poppy Solo, your last pick, you got Shaq, Jason Kidd, Vince Carter, Kenyon Martin.
And I think I'm gonna end this pick with he's beloved by all Nets fans. I'm not gonna say he was my favorite, but I'm gonna go with ISO Joe Johnson to end my
Ooh,
list.
that is a great underrated pick for sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
Now-
Light Out Sports, you have Kobe, Kareem, LeBron, and James Harden.
Now I could play really small and get another point guard right now, and
think I
have
know what
LeBron
you're
at the
gonna do.
4.
Patty Mills.
I'm going with yeah. No, I'm going with a Nets, point guard that hasn't got picked yet. I'm gonna go D Will.
Wow,
Ooh, that's a good
Nets
wow.
fans are like, boo.
I'm gonna go D
Yeah,
Will.
right.
I'm gonna go
If
D
you were
Will.
getting Utah D Will, I would hope it was
Yeah.
one of
You
those
can
things.
have
Yeah.
You
You
just
can
destroyed your
Wait.
team, bro.
No,
Jeff,
I like
your
D.
last
Will.
pick, KD, Wilt, Kyrie,
I-
Elgin Baylor. I swear to God, if you pick him, Jeff, I'm gonna be so mad.
You don't know. I need my shooting guard. Give me Drazen Petrovic.
Wow.
Ooh,
Thumbs
All
up.
right. I
Thumbs up.
also need my shooting guard, and to end the first ever franchise fantasy draft on To the Rack with Mac. Glad to have you guys be a part of it, but I also need a shooting guard. And he's got some camaraderie with my point guard. Give me big game James Worthy, baby.
Wow. Great pick.
James
Great
So,
Worthy.
what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to make a graphic. We're going to make a TikTok post. We're going to have the fans
Wait.
vote on it and see who
Got
built
you.
the best all-time combined Nets Lakers mixed franchise.
Jerry West was left off the roster, by the way.
Wow, Jerry West wasn't picked.
Snubbed.
Joe
Snubbed.
Johnson
James-
made it, and Jerry West did not.
That's
No,
crazy.
I am on record saying TikTok has made Jerry West one of the most overrated players of all time.
Yeah. Very
Just
far.
saying.
Yeah.
He's a logo though.
Oh my god.
He was made the logo in like the 60s when the NBA was at its most racist.
Bro,
Of course
ISO
he's the logo.
ISO Joe would put 50 on Jerry West.
Yo, I wanna shout out Stin Nation. What's up, Stin? How you doing? He's in the comment section.
I'm just saying, I'd love to see Jerry West bring the ball into the paint against Anthony Davis and Pau Gasol. I'm just saying. I'd love to
That's
see
gonna be.
that.
I'm excited to see what TikTok says about this. You know how
I
TikTok
think
is.
we all have pretty solid teams, but TikTok comments are very, very
Yeah.
humorous. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to see what they say.
Can you just put
Yo,
Steph Curry on mine?
Cheat code. You put Steph Curry on, you
I
automatically.
just want to
get
give a
1,000
shout
views.
out quickly at the conclusion of this draft. I just want to give a shout out quickly to the fans joining us, Stinsation and AC Sports. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. I see your comments. We see the love. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming over from my TikTok to join us tonight on the live stream. So yeah, gentlemen, I'm excited to see what the comments are about these picks here, because I think we're gonna get some heat. 4 of us, 4 great
1000%.
basketball minds did not pick Jerry West. 20 guys went before Jerry West.
That's
Just from
crazy.
2 franchises.
If
people have
oh
spoken, man.
man. So with time out. So with our
You
logic,
picked
right?
D Will over Jerry
Time
West,
out,
bro.
time out. I'm gonna ask you guys all a question before we end the show. All the franchises that are in NBA history, right? We do a draft with all the best players. Give me an estimate where you think Jerry West will land?
Well,
Would he
based
be
on
top
this,
100? Would he
based
be
on this, where do you rank Drazen Petrovic all time? Based on this list.
above Jerry West, apparently.
Yeah.
Where do you rank
It's
Kenyon
about
Martin all
fit,
time?
fit, guys. It's about fit. You can't just put him in.
Where do you,
He needs to fit the scheme. He has to fit the
it's about
scheme, man.
fit.
Oh man.
Kenyon Martin
chemistry
fits
on
with
my
Shaq more than Jerry West does.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
J
excited
Kid,
for the
I
comment.
would rather have J Kid than Jerry West, personally. That's just me.
I mean, I don't think that's a hot take.
Oh my god.
I got Kid
dude.
over West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Oh,
Kid over
man.
West too. Again, Jerry West has become insanely overrated. Man, you can't go 1-9 in the finals in a league with 8 teams. Come
But
on, man.
Mac, he's the logo though. He's the
I think even Jerry West would be like, you know what? I am a little bit
Logo.
overrated.
Oh man. I mean, he defends LeBron James for a reason.
Oh,
yeah.
Because his
He's
final
they're both
slots.
in the 10 finals.
Yeah. And I'm a
Both in
LeBron
the
guy.
10 finals?
I'm a LeBron guy. So
Listen,
just saying.
I'm taking 4 and 6 all day over 1-9.
1000%. Oh man.
But anyway, gentlemen, thank you so much for an absolutely amazing evening. Thank you for coming on. You guys are welcome back any damn time you please. We got to do more of these fantasy drafts. Again, guys,
100%.
go check us out all out on TikTok. You're going to see this fantasy draft all over this week. I'm assuming people are going to stitch this and duet this and call us idiots for picking Kenyon Martin over Jerry West, but I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it at all. But gentlemen, why don't you tell us a little bit about New Rivals, where they can find you, both of you, on all your social medias, and yeah.
New Rivals is obviously a Nets Lakers podcast, so that's what the theme of today's show. Thank you for Mac Daddy and Jeff for having us on. Had a lot of Nets and Laker content or topics. Yeah, we do this every Monday, and it gets posted on YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday, and we go live on Mondays on Poppy Solo's Twitch. To talk basketball, have a good time, entertain the people, and just see how bad Poppy Solo's taste can get every single show. So, yeah, you can follow us at New Rivals, Instagram, Twitter, everything is just New Rivals. So, anywhere you have a social platform, New Rivals is there. So, and Light Out Sports.
What he meant to say is New Rivals is the podcast that I carry week in and week out with my bare hands. But everything else you said was right on, except for that part. So yeah, New Rivals on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and then my personal Twitch, Poppy Solo.
And shout out to CG.
Shout
out to my boy
our
CG.
third. Yep.
Yeah.
We love you, bro.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much again for joining To The Rack with Mac. We appreciate you. Everybody, please go check out New Rivals, Light Out Sports, Poppy Solo, 2 of the very best in the game.
Thank you.
Shout out to you guys for coming on. We'll see you guys again soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to take them out of the stream and just end the show real quick. Jeff, that was
excellent.
Quite
excellent, my friend. Yeah, no, those are 2 great dudes. Lakers and Nets is an endless conversation for days. So,
oh my God, two of the most historic franchises, and in basketball history, in sports history, really, 2 of the most historic sports cities.
That draft was cool. We'll mix something like that in, because we got to put the rosters out there, and
every guest that comes on, we're going to use their favorite team, and then we'll randomize the team, and we'll do mixed fantasy drafts. Every single episode, we'll make it a permanent staple of To The Rack with Mac.
That was the way to do it. Well, week after week, as we do this every Thursday, everybody, we'll be here. The season's just going to unfold more and more. I think, like I said, let's put that 20% mark down. We're not there yet. When we get to 20% of the season, then all of our opinions will have some ground to stand on.
Well, Jeff, I just want to talk real quick, 2 minutes, about a game we have upcoming tonight. 2 early season MVP candidates, in my opinion, apparently not according to Basketball Reference, but in my opinion, Paul George and Jimmy Butler face off tonight. Who do you got and why? Real quick. But actually, Jimmy Butler, is he playing? He sprained his ankle last night.
Yeah, you'd have to clarify. I'm not sure if he is playing or not. So under the assumption that he is, in the individual matchup, I'm going to go with Paul George. He's just really looking smooth and balling right now. I like what he's doing with the Clippers in that lead role. It's crazy to think like he's one of those guys. We're talking about KD coming back from the injury. Well, Paul George had a pretty gruesome injury that he's playing at this elite level. It's too bad Kawhi's not around to allow the Clippers to be actual contenders this year. So Paul George, I think he's going to win that individual battle, but the Miami Heat, they got more than Jimmy Butler's playing brilliantly, but they got a litany of guys right now. Did you see the game last night, by the way? I don't know what you caught, but there was the putback, the game tying putback by PJ Tucker. Oh, he comes flying out of nowhere for that putback. I thought that was Bam. I was like, and then PJ Tucker comes running around.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was not Bam. That was nice. so the Heat are just looking good. The Heat should win that one.
I also would pick the Heat even without Jimmy Butler. More complete team, one of the best defensive teams in all of basketball. Again, Bam Adebayo, my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. It's early. I know he's not exactly at the top of those standings, but he damn well could be by the end of the year. He's just tremendous. He had a big game in LA last night, even dealing with Anthony Davis and DeAndre Jordan down there. So very impressive young star, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think they should win. The Clippers' success all hinges this year on Reggie Jackson being the same Reggie Jackson he was in the playoffs, as well as Zubac. A lot of guys playing above who we know they are. Terrence Mann.
Reggie Jackson, he's a roller coaster of a player.
Exactly. So I think the Clippers are going to be really up and down, and they're going to need to win some games if Paul George wants to get real national MVP consideration. So I get where they're coming from in that aspect. But anyway, this has been episode 4 of To the Rack with Mac. Welcome to the show, my man, Jeff, a.k.a. Basketball for Brains. We appreciate you joining us tonight.
Definitely do.
You can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at MacDaddy, The Ryan Show. And you can follow Jeff on TikTok at Basketball for Brains. Basketball, the number 4 Brains on TikTok. You know, you got 2 of the best NBA minds in the business right here every Thursday night. And we just want to say thank you for joining us. And we'll see you again for episode 5 next Thursday.